Hey learners, welcome back. In the video series of chapter 1, that is financial statements of companies, today we shall continue our discussion and learn about the two remaining subheadings under the heading of non-current liabilities. The two subheadings remaining were other long-term liabilities and long-term provisions. So we are going to learn about these two, and also we shall understand about the heading of current liabilities and the subheadings under it. So stay tuned with us as this video is going to be very useful for you. Other long-term liabilities. Now over here few examples are given and you need to pay attention to these examples only. Other long-term liabilities. First example is given, premium payable on redemption of debentures, and also we have premium payable on redemption of preference shares. Now in our last videos we have understood what do we mean by redemption. Redemption is actually payment for a security on or before its maturity date. Right? This is actually redemption. Now what is premium payable on redemption? Premium payable means when I am doing or when I am redeeming either debentures or preference shares at a higher value than the face value, that is actually redemption on premium. For example, the face value for my debenture also and my preference shares, both it is 100. Okay, so when I'm supposed to redeem it, that means when I'm paying back for it, I should only pay 100, right? But when I'm paying back on or before its maturity date, I need to pay 120. That means I am redeeming my debentures, I am redeeming my preference shares, but at a higher price. This 120 is higher than the face value of 100. So this extra 20 is actually the premium which I am paying. Therefore, it arises as my other long-term liability. It is a liability for me because I have to pay more price for it. Clear? Other long-term liabilities. Okay. And here comes the last part of the third major heading, that is long-term provisions. Now what are long-term provisions? See, all the provisions which we make for such claims that are expected to be settled beyond 12 months, such provisions are called as long-term provisions. What are the examples? Provision for employee benefits, provision for gratuity, provision for earned leave, provision for warranty claims. Okay, making provisions for such kind of claims which we know that the claim will be settled after 12 months. Within 12 months it is not possible. If it is within 12 months, then it will be short-term provisions. But as because such claims for which I am making provisions, those claims are expected to be settled after 12 months, then such provisions are called as long-term provisions. Pretty simple. Examples are also given. So with this we finish off all the four subheadings related to the major heading of non-current liabilities on the equity and liabilities side of the balance sheet. So till now we have finished with three major headings on the equity and liability side of the balance sheet. First major heading is shareholders fund. Second one is share application money pending allotment, and the third one we learned about was non-current liabilities. Now the fourth and the last major heading on the equity and the liability side is the current liabilities. Now what are current liabilities? This we have already discussed before. Still I have put this part once again. Let's read quickly. A liability shall be classified as current liability if it satisfies any of the following criteria. Either it is to be settled within the company's normal operating cycle, or the main purpose of that liability is to be traded, and third one, it will be due within 12 months after the reporting date. So these points we have covered in very details, I think in lecture number 2. And all the other liabilities which do not suit the above criteria, they will be classified as non-current liabilities. Also related to this, we have solved certain practical problems. We have done that. Now Schedule 3 prescribes that the current liabilities shall be classified as follows. That means this major heading, it has 4 subheadings. Clear? First subheading is short-term borrowings, then trade payables, then other current liabilities and short-term provisions. Clear? Now in today's lecture we are only going to learn about these first 2 subheadings. The rest 2 subheadings, that is subheading number C and subheading number D, will be covered by us in our next video. Clear? So let's quickly learn about short-term borrowings. What are short-term borrowings? It is very similar to that of long-term borrowings, just the difference is what? It becomes due for payment within 12 months. From beginning only, the target is that these borrowings will become due within 12 months. What are the examples? Suppose we have taken any kind of overdraft, or there is a cash credit from banks, or we have taken loans from other parties, there is a deposit, there are other loans and advances. Clear? So these are the examples of short-term borrowings. That means these liabilities, they become due, these borrowings become due for payment within 12 months from the balance sheet date. Clear? And that is why it is short-term borrowings. Very simple. Let's move forward. Then we have trade payables. What are trade payables? A payable shall be classified as a trade payable if it is in respect of the amount due on goods of purchased or services received in the normal course of business. It includes both sundry creditors and bills payable. Now we all are familiar with these 2 terms. We know what are sundry creditors and what are bills payable. Now there is a new term which is called as trade payables. This trade payables is nothing but a combination of sundry creditors and bills payable. It means what? Let us further elaborate. It means that if the amount becomes due in the normal course of business, that means within the operating cycle of the business, then such amount will be called as trade payables.